You ready to clean? We are living in a very small portion of our house as we renovate the rest of it, and it can get dirty pretty quickly in such a small area. It's even worse this week because I was gone on vacation, so I haven't actually cleaned in 2 weeks, and that includes once family came and all the mess that comes with hosting guests. You will see me stop and give our cat Moomy some love throughout this video. That's because she hurt her leg and we are still waiting to go to the vet. The earliest appointment they had was this upcoming Monday, so it was 3 days after we saw the issue, and the emergency vet was only taking life or death situations, so we were forced to wait those 3 days. I really love this duvet cover. I got it about 8 months ago on Amazon, but I am never a fan of any duvet covers because of the logistics of untying and pulling out the comforter in order to wash it. Our laundry area is currently out in the garage because our actual laundry room is currently a makeshift kitchen. Don't be jealous of this luxury. It takes years to build up this level of house dysfunction. Our table is probably the messiest thing in our house because it is the only surface that we have to set anything on. So it's everything from our desk to our mail catch, even sometimes food prep depending on what is needed. And since COVID has now been keeping us home 24/7 for the last year and a half, it's gotten even worse. Little Walter, if you ever see him hobbling like that, it is because he has malformed hip sockets and he gets PT in order to help him feel better. One of my favorite cleaning hacks is to put everything in its place as you go through. So when I find things that belong in the bedroom, I take it to the bedroom. If it belongs in the kitchen, I take it to the kitchen. And I don't actually put it in its exact spot. I just put it in the room that it belongs, and then I deal with that once I move to that room. This allows me to focus on the task that I'm currently doing while also not creating more work for me by just placing it in an area that it doesn't belong. Although ironically for this video, there was one blue bucket that just kept popping up because I wasn't really sure where to put it. It was part of our family vacation when people came to stay with us, and it was something that I wasn't quite sure where it belonged, so I just kept moving it from room to room. It's a funny little "where is Waldo" moment for this video. Even though we only have 2 dogs, they generate a lot of hair, and all of us generate a lot of dust. I'm sure that home renovations contribute to that, and so I am constantly going against the battle of the hair. As an allergy sufferer, I find that dusting off the items on the shelf as well as the shelf itself has really helped lower my allergies and given everything a more fresh and clean appearance. One of Sadie's favorite hobbies is to dump over her entire toy basket pretending to look for a toy that is at the very bottom, but in reality, she just wants to dump over the toy basket and have that satisfaction of seeing all of her toys all over the floor. Usually, her favorite time to do it is right after I clean. With 2 indoor dogs, I am constantly battling the smell of wet dog or dogs that have been adventuring a little too much outside, so I regularly clean their bedding in an effort to help keep that at bay. I think many people miss when dusting is the tops of books that are displayed. The tops of the books can get quite dusty, so I always make sure to dust those off as well. Again, don't be jealous of this kitchen. It takes a lot of time and effort to be able to afford something as luxurious as this. These open bins are things that we use to supplement the 4 whole cabinets that we have in our makeshift kitchenette, and they are a lifesaver because all of these things used to just be on the counter, and let me tell you, that was very hard to operate around. It is squash and zucchini season here in Oregon, and we have way too much. My husband picked all of these while I was gone on vacation, and some of them clearly have gotten a little bit too big, but the ones that are a reasonable size I will take into work and give to my coworkers. I recently saw a meme that was talking about how the right front burner is the favorite burner, and that is definitely the case in our house, and frequently I have to take it out and wash it separately from everything else just because it is so well used. Notice that I tend to shut the water off each time I am loading the dishwasher rather than leaving it on while putting dishes in the dishwasher, and that's because we are in a mega drought, and so I try to be conscientious of conserving water in any way that I can. Another cleaning hack is to always make sure you clean regularly the item that holds your sponges or your scrubby brush, because that can get quite dirty as well. We have have hard water here, so in addition to this regular disinfecting clean, I try to go through with vinegar a couple times a year to try and break up those hard water deposits that surround our drains and our faucets. Fun fact, we have only 2 drawers in our makeshift kitchenette, so this area behind the knives tends to be our junk drawer area. It randomly collects things like takeout napkins and knives and silverware that come in takeout bags that I don't want to throw away, but I have nowhere to put. And so sometimes they just end up behind this knife block, and I'm not sure why that became a thing, but it is, and it seems to be here to stay until I get my full-sized kitchen. Living in such a small space means that most of our areas are multi-purpose, and the kitchen is no exception. This little contraption that I got at a local store is an excellent place to hold all of our dog meds and dog supplements. Walter is a senior dog now, so he has several of those, as well as the cookbooks that I use the most regularly. This vacuum is definitely old school. It's actually been with my husband longer than I have, but it works really well, and until our house is complete, we don't really feel it's necessary to buy a new vacuum to vacuum old carpet. Especially since long term, I don't plan to have any carpet in the entire house. We use a lot of gloves outdoors, and these little containers that I picked up at the dollar store are really helpful for organizing everything and keeping it all in one place. Using the extension to clean up all the dog hair along this brick platform is a must because the dog beds are here. I also use it in front of the TV where Walter's bed is usually placed. Stuff on the bed is stuff that I moved from other areas of the house and deemed them to belong in the bedroom. You will notice that blue pail is on the dresser because I still don't know where it belongs. For reference, it actually ended up in the garage. husband's other catch-all spot is the top of the dresser, so he will often leave his wallet, his glasses, his keys, now during COVID, his mask, and so I collect all of that and I put it on an organizer that I got him, and it's on his nightstand. This organizer is something I gave him for Christmas. He doesn't actually use it, but when I'm cleaning, I put all of it on there just so that I feel like it wasn't a waste of money and everything looks tidy. Mumi has been a very good kitty this whole time and stayed on the little towel that I put down for her, but it was now time to make the bed, so I carefully picked her up and put her out in the living room on her couch spot, and then I proceeded to make the beds. Wondering why the lighting looks so different from the last shot to this one, it's because it took me so long to clean the house. This is actually about 5 hours after I started. Usually it takes me about 2 to 3 hours to clean this whole space that we live in, but because I was trying to film it and make sure that I captured it, it took me almost twice as long. So what you're seeing now is actually past dark. Call this Walter's Russian hat bed because it kind of looks like one of those furry Russian hats that you've seen in pictures, and it is his favorite thing in the world. He can't wait to get into it. He actually doesn't wait for me to finish putting it together before he starts trying to get in. for joining me on this weekend cleaning expedition in our remodeling house. I hope that it motivated you to clean your space. I know it really helped the time pass for me more quickly because I love capturing everything for you guys so that we can share this. If you have tips or tricks for cleaning, please share them in the comments below. And I will see you in the next video. Oh, hi! Were you wondering about those gorgeous portraits behind me? No, they are not by some famous artist. My husband and I actually painted them ourselves of each other. I know, you can't even tell. It's like a professional did them. They are not for sale if you're wondering. They're actually from the Adventure Challenge book, which I highly recommend.